Nelly, I watched your short film to accompany this record last night, and I was really struck by the ride. Like, I was really struck by the ride of life. And you say it's high, it's low, it's ugly. I want to get to all the parts of the ride.
Yeah.
But I think it takes a certain
The ugly
perspective.
bits.
Right, but I think it takes a certain perspective just to see it that way. You know what I mean? Like, is this something you've always been able to do, to see life as a succession of highs and lows, of good times and bad times, or is it something new?
I like to go in my brain a lot. I mean, while I was waiting for this interview, I was holding this really cool crystal I have, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if we were all made of crystals, like all our actual digits on our fingers and everything like that? So that's why I don't talk about that usually.
You get in there.
Anyway,
you get in there. Yeah, you get deep in. I understand.
I get in the brain.
Yeah.
So then what I started to do a few years ago is I thought, well, maybe all this good stuff, I should, stop and smell the roses. And I think my life was on fast forward for a long time. So, I got more in touch with real beauty and really the beauty in the puddle on the street with the oil slick in it, just kind of like trying to find the beauty in the little moments because, oh, God, those were beautiful. And I realized my mind is quite quiet and I like to reflect and I need time to reflect. And I just kind of missed that person in front of a guitar, like right now, just writing a song.
If you listen on the
reflecting.
radio, Nelly's playing our Q Studio mandolin right now.
I know, just kind of here.
So you miss being that kind of person, the person. Well, I think you're right. I think there's a naivety but there's a power that comes with naivety when you're young.
Yeah, you have this crazy life force, crazy energy, and so you get up on the tightrope, right? And
But that goes away.
it kind of does. I mean, for me personally, my journey has been. I mean, okay, so we're in 2017. I signed my first album record deal when I was in 1998 for the albums that would become Whoa, Nelly, Folklore, Loose, and Dispirited and Indestructible. This new album is an independent release. I own this album. I also own my Spanish album that was independent in 2009. So life happened. I mean, it's been 20 years almost. So after a while, I started delving into like business aspects of the music business. Like I had a label. I was signing artists and sort of investing in them creatively. As well. And that was really fun. But then I started to not feel as creative anymore.
Right.
And that was sad for me. I was like, I miss this person. Like just kind of reflecting and writing songs, for fun, not just when I'm in a studio, right?
I want to.
Right?
I want to get to all of that. Like I want to. I want to start there. If it's cool with you, I want to play a few clips from throughout your career.
Yeah, you do you.
Thanks.
I follow.
But I want to get your reaction from it. This is a little taste of the song that introduced me and a lot of people to you.
Okay.
And though my love is way, and though my love is true, I'm like a bird, I only fly away. I don't know where my soul is.
So if you don't know that song, I don't know where you were, but we can talk later about where you might have been when that came out. That was Nelly Furtado's song that really introduced a lot of us to her. I'm Like a Bird from Whoa, Nelly.
Yeah.
When you hear that song now, what comes to mind?
I tell the story of where I wrote this song a week ago. It's kind of interesting. I was in Los Angeles recording my first album with Track and Field, who are Canadian. And I needed more songs. And I stayed at this apartment building called the Oakwood Suites, where there's a lot of young kind of kids that are starting out in entertainment stay. It's kind of like a long-term apartment, sort of with a kitchen. And, safe to say, I was a little bit lonely. So I just woke up one morning and sat on the little pull-out sofa in the living room and wrote I'm Like a Bird. And I still love singing that song. I still love it.
But does it feel like it's a completely different person who's singing it when you hear it?
Yeah, totally.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, listen to it. It's like so beautiful. It's like so like a naivete, I guess, or something. There's something beautiful there. I mean,
you don't feel that that's there anymore? Like,
I actually know when I sing it, I kind of feel like the same person. I guess, yeah. Especially the last part. I gotta fly away. Get up like you. Let me tell you, I went on for 10 more minutes in the studio. They just fit in what they could.
Hold on. But I got to talk to what's his name, Sting, the other day.
Yeah.
And I asked him this question. I said, when you get up and you have to sing So Lonely, or you have to sing I Can't Stand Losing You,
Sending out a
Message in a Bottle, yeah. And he said, like, yeah, I wrote those songs when I was like hungry. I wrote those songs when I wasn't living in a castle next to Stonehenge. But is it challenging for you?
Mat.
Is it challenging for you to get up and still sing those songs?
No, not at all. I'm the same person. I've rejected a lot of the trappings, I think. Not all of them, but like, that's weird. I come from really humble roots, and like I still, a couple years ago, I decided to kind of like simplify my life as much as possible, as much as I could. And I don't know, I went back to like, I started cleaning my apartment again. I was like, I need to like go back to, I used to be a chambermaid cleaning hotel rooms and writing
before
songs.
Nelly, right?
Yeah. So I kind of went back there and kind of was like, I want to just spread light again and like be in touch with my surroundings again and be connected to everything I do and everything I say and everything I am.
And what did you learn from doing that? What do you learn from going back? So when you're cleaning your apartment, to put you in the mind space of someone, of the Nelly Furtado that was a chambermaid.
Yeah.
What do you learn from
I'm
going back
trying to go
there?
back to like the stuff that matters, I guess.
What
Just,
matters?
Like knowing yourself. Really, I think that's all that matters, is exploring your dark sides and like conquering your fears. I feel like that's the point of life, and we're only here once in this life, so we have to learn our lessons. We have to go there, and we can't run away from who we are. We can't like run away from the lessons we're supposed to learn in this life. And the only way you can not run away is if you look in the mirror. And I have a song about it. It's called Carnival Games.
Yeah.
And it's literally like, like, if you spend enough cash at the carnival games, you'll have a prize in your hand when you walk away. It'll slip through your fingers and you'll never know what winning's really like at all. I stayed it too long, now it's in my soul. And when the thunder rolls, I got nowhere to go. I keep spinning around on this carousel because it spins me so well. And I'll stay with you just a little while. There's so much for us to see and do. But don't mistake this for an adventure in paradise just because the ride looks so good.
Don't mistake this for an adventure in paradise just because... Hey, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
Don't mistake this for an adventure in paradise just because the ride looks so good. What does that mean?
Oh, you can fool yourself with all the pretty rides at the carnival. I mean,
What are the rides at the carnival?
oh man, just like fleeting things, like life.
Trappings.
Trappings and experiences, or when people take you on rides or you let yourself get taken on a ride, and you're always conscious of it, I think. You're like, this is fun. Like whatever it is, or you're like, and it might not be ultimately bad for you, but it might be, the trick is knowing how, like, what do they say? Do everything in moderation, I guess. But for me personally, I'm sensitive. So everything I do affects me. And because I think so much, I need to deal with the little voices inside that are my gut instincts. For instance, like a little voice inside said, you got to make a record with John Congleton, even though he's never made a pop album.
I want to get to the John.
Do you know what I mean?
But no, I want to get to the John Congleton. I want to get to St. Vincent. I want to talk about this new record. But I think, what I think is really, really interesting here is this idea of the ride. Lay that anywhere. Put that anywhere you want. Is that?
Lay me down.
Is that? These things don't just happen when you're 19. Like these revelations you have don't just happen when you're 19. You have to get to a place when you get there. Oh, I want to play another song that you're really well known for.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about how that led to where you are right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play it.
Promiscuous girl, whatever you are.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's you that I want. Promiscuous boy, you already know that I'm all yours. What you waiting for?
I feel like I'm on carpool karaoke.
That's Nelly Furtado. I'm James Corden. This is Carpool Karaoke. Or Q, like Quarpool Karaoke.
Carpool karaoke.
Nelly Furtado.
Canadian version.
I don't have to tell you that song was huge. I mean, that
It
record,
does,
Loose.
and it still jams in the club. I heard it in the club, like, because I'm at the club all the time. Well, I was out with some friends, and someone played a 10-minute remix of it, but it was a small party. It was here in the West End. Oh my
right.
God! I should give it a shout out.
Go ahead.
It's April Wozniak's party, Businesswomen's Social. I always get the name wrong, but anyway, it's really fun. It's all the cutest boys. It's the boys. It's the boys' party in the West End boys. You know what I'm talking about, boys. But anyway, yeah. So they played Promiscuous. It was a 10-minute remix, and I was like, "This is the first time I've been in a club and heard this song and actually enjoy it because
It wasn't weird. It wasn't weird for you.
I'll tell you why. Because I think when you write certain songs or you have that experience of a song totally blowing up, it's like it becomes bigger than you. It's not really your song anymore. It's everybody's,
Right.
and it's like whatever they're like. I was in Montauk in July, and I was at a club, and a girl was singing and dancing her heart out to this song.
She was singing that song.
To that
Did she know you were there?
No, but I watched her the whole time.
Scary.
And then her friend like shook her on the shoulder and pointed to me. And then she was so embarrassed. But then we said hi and said hello, and it was cute. But yeah.
But she saw you and she went, "Oh my God, I didn't know Nelly Furtado was here."
Yeah, and I was watching her the whole time.
Oh my God,
Like a weirdo.
But we're at this point, like we're talking now about like all the things you've learned throughout your career.
Yeah.
What was the best part of that? What was the best part about having that huge, that huge pop when that came out?
Well, it was interesting because for me it was conscious. It was a conscious move. I mean, I played Nelly and Folklore. I toured internationally. And I always found that whenever I was playing a festival or a larger gig, a lot of the pastiche-like cut and paste sounds on my first two albums didn't translate as well in larger venues.
Like what?
Stuff like Baby Girl. I mean, it's got like Barenbow in it,
Yeah.
you know?
I love that song.
And like skittily weird rhythms.
Yeah.
And they're fine,
Yeah.
but I felt like I didn't have material that had really the fluid and more open sound. And I also craved to push myself in a more pop direction to see if I could be more broad. I envisioned a title, and it was called Loose. And that was 2 years before I even stepped in the studio to make it with Timbaland. I kind of wanted to see if I could make something like that. And then when it happened, I was like, whoa, this is like a horse that's going fast.
Right.
And it was hard to keep up with the horse because it did become bigger than me. And the music, really, people took ownership of, you know, Tim and I making music together and how it made them feel and that the vibe and the energy. And I guess that time in music, which I was also proud of because I do think the album had a gritty sound that was interesting. But I don't know. You can't plan these things out, can you?
But
You really can't.
you also said that you lost all sense. This is a quote. You lost all sense of who you were as an artist at that time. What did that mean?
I think when I said that, I probably meant like, for instance, like all of a sudden you got a fully booked arena tour sold out, and it's like you got people telling you need your stage show to look like this, right? And you're like, oh yeah, I guess that's what people do when they play arenas, and it's fine. I liked my show, but I mean, I haven't actually. Confession, I don't think I've ever watched the entire Loose DVD live show.
Is that so?
Isn't that weird?
Why do you find it
I
hard?
like to say it for my fans that I watched it at least and said that this is good, you can put it out now. But I think I was too busy to even look at it before it came out.
But it's not. So it's because you're too busy. But
Quality control, but I'm sure it's good. But like, it might be because I thought my hair was too curly or something. But anyway,
But a lot of people don't want to listen to themselves back because
Yeah.
they have to.
and it's not because I hated it though. I
No,
gotta
but
be clear.
but
Yeah.
it's hard to self-reflect.
Yeah, I wasn't like, oh, I hate this. It was more like, it just got bigger than me. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like all of a sudden you have a hit on the radio and then there's another one and then you're like approving a budget for a tour and you're like, wow, this is super fun and I'm having fun and there's dancers and it's great and I wanted those big white palm trees on the stage because it was a really tribute to Miami type of album. But I don't know. It just gets to a point where it's. I think there are variations in different roads your creativity can go down and different muscles you feel like flexing. At the time, I thought it was really fun to take on personas on stage. I thought it was really fun to sing Maneater on a pivoting thing in the center of on live television wearing a crazy gown, you know, because I thought, wow, this is sure like a good notch on my belt, you know, like because I think at my core. I'm a person who likes a few things. I'm curious. I have voracious curiosity. I want to know, like, what does that feel like? What's that smell like? What's that like? You know, but then I get bored of it. Bored of it every time. Do it, I get bored of it.
Right.
And I don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
Literally. And I don't know why I'm like that, but I am. And I'm curious. I'm also kind of competitive, but with myself. You know what I mean?
So you wanted something bigger than you had this huge smash with Whoa Nelly and I'm Like a Bird. You wanted to make something even bigger than that because you were competitive with yourself.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Really?
I had a vision. I was like, I can see myself playing arenas. And I saw myself singing songs in arenas. And I just was like, that'd be cool. And then I went and did it.
But then you come home.
Luckily enough. But
then you come home and you're in your hotel room or you're home you're home with your daughter.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Nelly Furtado, the person, is really different than Nelly Furtado kind of Inc. Like Nelly Furtado, the business that you are.
Yeah.
What was that realization like coming off that tour?
I'll tell you when I realized it.
Sure.
This is a very specific thing that happened to me. So on that tour, I remember being like in the back of like, I don't know, like a van or something driving around doing promo in Europe. And I started to get envious of the people in the front of the magazine, the writers and editors, and when they have a bio and a picture and they say all their hobbies.
I know what you mean. I
was like, I want to be Nancy and ride horses, or I want to be Bill who just climbed the Grand Canyon with his dogs. And I was like not doing those things. I was mothering, you know, and I was doing shows, which was satisfying on so many levels, but I craved kind of, I guess maybe I craved normalcy or something. Maybe I craved just like a normal social life and a normal, you know, like set of like there were probably things on my bucket list that I wanted to do, and so many of them didn't include anything having to do with music goals. Mm-hmm. That's the best way to describe it.
So then you take a step back.
Yeah, and then I started doing that stuff. I was like, I want to learn basketball, so I'm going to do that. I want to learn pottery. I want to learn how to sew. My daughter a dress, so I did that. And then
did you ever think you were going to go back to music? Was there a time where you went, I think I'm just going to do this? Because you could have never made another record. You could have been.
You think?
I think you could have lived and never made another record.
Probably, yeah. Which would have taken remarkable self-restraint because, for one, I'd signed a contract, which included how many albums was it? I guess everything, a lot of them. And then for two, I had fans, and so watching fans react to songs on the road is very powerful for a singer-songwriter, because you start to go, wow, I'm helping people. And the first time I walked on a stage, I was 4. And the thing I loved about it was I felt like I was spreading joy. So I don't know if I'm kind of a martyr or something, but I was like, yeah, like this is cool. Like I should continue to record songs because I can help people with my songs, even if it's one person. But I guess I could do that in a coffee shop too. I don't know.
No, but then you make Me Plan, this big Latin Grammy-winning record, Me Plan. Then you write The Spirit, Indestructible, and that comes out. And then I feel like we kind of lose track of you. So is that where you were?
Yeah, the satellite fell off. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess it's been 5 years. I don't know where the last 5 years went, to be honest. Besides for the things I was exploring. So, like this album is actually began almost 2 years ago, or 2.5 actually. Take you back to August 2000 and I think 14. I went to England. I wrote the song Phoenix there. Kind of was a little depressed at the time, and I had a lot of changes going on in my life, and I was trying to find my way again, you know, as a human being. Just kind of like, okay, where am I at? What do I want out of life? I was lost for a little while, not knowing what I wanted out of life, I think.
What do you mean by that?
Like just not knowing like what was next, you know, sort of goal-wise, I guess.
Because you had already done...
I had a label too, yeah, for a little while. That took up a lot of my time. And
what I mean is you had already done so much. Like you had already had this career that most artists dream of. And then you have it, and then you got to say, and then what? Yeah,
I guess that's when I started taking this playwriting class at the U of T Continuing Studies, and I think it gave me a new fuel and new perspective into like the art of writing songs and the poignancy that can come out of allowing life to emerge when you're creating. So, yeah.
And then you meet. I want to play a clip of another song. This is not one of your songs. This is a person that really did help shape who you are with this record.
Oh, what an ordinary day. Take out the garbage, masturbate. I'm still holding
hard
for
R.
the laugh
Master.
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 She said master, right?
Yeah, it sounds like she's saying
Master.
Master. If you're just tuning in, that's Annie
Can you loop
Clark.
that?
Yeah, I can do that. That's our new hit. That's Annie Clark, aka
Can that be your new theme song?
Annie Clark, aka St. Vincent, with her song "Birth in Reverse." I'm sitting here talking to Nelly Furtado. What was Annie's?
Like a birth in reverse. Yeah, so
what's
good.
Annie's role in this ride?
Well, I was kind of obsessed with Annie when I found her music, and I loved it so much. And it sounded kind of like nothing I'd heard before, especially like when she came out with the self-titled St. Vincent. And that was after I'd already met her. We had a meeting in Japan and kind of kept in touch. And when I met her at first, it was like really embarrassing because I gave her a cardboard cutout of my head. It was a promotional item in my dressing room in Japan. And
You gave her.
she looked at me with this quizzical look and very politely said, "Thank you." And took it. Anyway, so yeah, I was just like in awe of this like rock goddess, and here I am, this like pop star in her dressing room with all her clothes and jewelry, and so it was a very funny moment. And anyway, we kept in touch, and she's lovely. And then I became obsessed with John Congleton, and started like stalking him online.
John Congleton is the guy who had helped produce and record a lot of her music. Is that right?
He produced all 4 albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so John's amazing. And I kind of was like, Annie, what's John like? And she said, "Oh, John's a Texas weirdo like me."
But what is it? What is it when you heard St. Vincent or when you saw St. Vincent that you said, that's a road that I want to go down?
I think it's because the St. Vincent album to me sounded like music was supposed to sound like.
What do you mean?
I don't know. There was something I liked about it. Now I realize there's the humanity in the music because of the way John records. So he records all live session players off the floor. There's no real cutting and pasting. All the vocals are live takes that are beginning to end performances.
There's risk.
There was humanity in
Yeah.
the music,
Yeah. Yeah.
There was error, there was beauty, there was ugliness in it. And I think I was attracted to that innately. Also, innately attracted to the vocal sound. I thought the vocal sounded really good. And I feel like a lot of people always tell me like, "Oh, you sound better live than on record." And that kind of bothered me. So I knew that John could at least give me a vocal that was going to be pure and that could perhaps bring out some tones in my voice that people hadn't heard before. And he literally like got me to sing my lowest note I've ever sung on this record, which is in Pipe Dreams, and then the highest note I've ever sung, which is like this song called Live. So he really gave me the challenge that I was looking for. And again, risk, yes, because he had mostly done all this critically acclaimed alternative and rock music, and I was coming from the pop world, and he had never done a pop record, and I had never worked with a producer like him before. I mean, save for maybe somebody like Gustavo Santaolalla, who also has this critical acclaim and sort of real,
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
Outsider, insider type of vibe.
But there's another risk here too.
Yeah.
You're making this record outside of your contract. You're owning your own label. You're releasing it yourself. You're doing it very much on your own terms, business-wise, for the first time in a very, very long time, Nelly.
Well, yeah.
Was that?
I guess since 2009.
Yeah, that's very freeing.
Yeah.
But it can also be kind of lonely. Did you find?
Yeah, I was managing myself too. I was as lonely as it gets.
Did you feel lonely?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I checked into the Belmont Hotel. It was like a former motel in Dallas, Texas, in Oak Cliff. Great place, great staff. Hello. And
they're listening.
Yeah, smoke. Yeah, good food. And I was like, what am I doing here? Like, it was just a whim. I remember getting the invoices from the musicians the next week. Like, okay, I'm going to pay these. And like, it's kind of like, I don't know, it sounds weird, but I had this voice inside that was like, you need to record a record with John. I like kind of working with people like before. You know what I mean? Like before they start working with people like me, Like I kind of like, you gotta capture them when, when they got the sweet stuff, when the ripe, juicy fruit.
But that's what you had.
The ripe, juicy fruit.
That's what you had when we just talked about it. When we listened to Whoa Nelly, that's what you heard. You heard that person before all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you overcome that loneliness?
I don't know. How
Nelly?
the hell did I get back to that, eh? That's so cool.
How did you do it?
I'm excited about that. How did I do it? I freaking had to go through it. It was hard. It's hard as hell. I cried a lot. And I wrote sad songs about it. Tap dancing is a sad clown song. I don't know if you've heard it.
I haven't listened to the record.
Yeah, it's like It's my sad clown song. When I was a little girl, I had a bed set because we got hand-me-downs because we worked at the Robin Hood Motel. So one time, this long-stay guest left my mother a whole entire bed set for me. So comforter, pillow, a lamp. It was Piero the Clown. And I loved Piero the Clown. And there was a music box with him, and it played the song The Entertainer. And I always connected to that. And I think the reason why I wrote tap dancing is because somebody told me, they saw me in a meeting, and they were like,
It was a label meeting.
it was a label meeting.
Yeah.
And at the time, the funny part is the ride, I was still signed to Interscope when I started recording the ride, but I was doing my usual rogue activity of like, I'm just going to do this and we'll play it for you later, that type of thing. And
Yeah.
I was going to come in and play them a song. And someone I work with said, "Why are you tap dancing? Why are you tap dancing?
Why are you performing? Why are you
performing, like, in a
You're
meeting?
Nelly Furtado.
That type of thing."
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like, well, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Like, you've already done a lot of cool things. And it never occurred to me that, like, yeah, I'm kind of like an adult. Like, why am I tap dancing? And I realized I was kind of tap dancing for friends and family. And, you laugh at yourself and you think it's funny, right? But really it's self-deprecating, And I think you need to just love yourself a little more. And it's cheesy. Maybe I learned to love myself a little more the last 5 years. I mean, because if you don't love yourself, you can't embrace those ugly little details. You really can't.
I want to listen to another track off the
Yeah.
record. This one's called Flatline.
Yeah, this one's pretty numb. Flatline.
Driving in the worst conditions, head on with the full collision. Now I'm all my tar in pieces, body parts are all around. Took off without looking back, you couldn't cut my heart some slack. Try to patch it up with my hands, I call for backup. This is bad, I'm breathing, barely breathing. My pulse is barely beating.
Do you like Midlake?
Yeah.
Mackenzie Smith is the drummer on my album.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Badass.
he's so rad. Listen to his fills.
He's a great drummer.
They're so like everything and nothing. It's like
That's a little Flatline off Nelly Furtado's new
he
record,
just looks
The
cool
Ride.
when he plays drums.
He's a great drummer. We're just talking a little bit about how the drummer from Midlake. But you said something interesting, not about Midlake. You said
Yeah.
that when the song first started, you said, "Oh yeah, this one's pretty numb."
It is.
What do you mean?
Well, it's kind of it's two good stories. So I got to Dallas, Texas. I'm like, where am I? What am I doing here? But something tells me I should be here. John's studio is like a converted funeral home. So you get in there and you're like, whoa, I've never worked with anyone like you before. You have like this dark sense of humor, John Congleton. And but he's so nice. And so I go, okay, I'm totally nervous because he's so cool. I pull out my GarageBand files on my computer. I play him everything I've got. And at that point, I'd done some writing, but not that much. So I played him stuff. He's so unimpressed. He doesn't like any of it. And at the end, thank God, I'm scrambling and I think, oh yeah, that other song, I didn't bring it, but I can sing it. So I sing, I don't feel nothing at all. I don't feel nothing at all. And he goes, I like that.
Oh my God! I think if you sang that in front of me, I'd be like, "Oh my God, we should talk. We need to talk. We need to
Not
get a cup of
John.
coffee."
He's like, I like that. It's happy and sad at the same time. So yeah, we got along that way. So then we record Flatline. But let me tell you, I did the first draft of the verse, and he looks at me and he's like, nah, it's all right, but I think you could dig deeper. And I'm like, okay. But I love that feeling. I love feeling challenged. But I think when I wrote that, yeah, I mean, listen to it. It's like I got a flat line, right? Give me your vital signs.
It sounds like you at your lowest, Nelly.
Definitely. Yeah, and it was. I think that was, I had written Phoenix already by the time I got there, but that was like all in the same period. So like, just, yeah, like really like, because I think when you break through a paradigm shift, right? So it could be a relationship, right? So I did break up with someone who had been a business partner for 20 years of my life and had been like a father figure to me. So that was fine. And it's not really about that, but it's about when you make huge decisions in your life and you kind of get off the roller coaster, you have to make all your decisions on your own. And I was like, I was a little bit out of sorts. Like I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew that if I followed my gut instincts, that would be okay. And I think I needed to prove to myself that I could do things on my own, that I could go back to being this, I guess, fully autonomous creature, which I guess probably does get taken away from you a bit, I guess, maybe when you become like a public figure or something and there's expectations all of a sudden.
Yeah, you don't belong to yourself anymore. Going to the mall is not going to the mall anymore.
Yeah, but you get used to it, so you don't realize like some of your automatic behaviors surrounding it, right?
Well, that's where the bad stuff comes from.
Yeah,
That's where
I
the
think
bad. That's where
so.
people not being great sometimes comes from because they're lashing out against the fact that they are recognized everywhere they go, or
Yeah, not everybody deals very well. Yeah.
or they think that the way they act because everyone thinks it's okay is the way it's okay to act.
Yeah, that can happen too. I mean, luckily I have very humble roots. You
Yeah.
know, my family's super humble and kind of working class people.
When you walk in for dinner, you're still their daughter now. You're still like
Always,
oh, yeah.
even in the beginning, I would come home from tour.
From the Grammys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
And I'd sit in my parents' living room, talking a mile a minute. I did this, and then we did this, and this is. And my dad, in his thick Portuguese accent, would look at me and go, when I was done, Nelly, slow down, okay? I'm not kidding. And I'd be so put in my place. Or I'd be hanging laundry with my aunt in Ponta Garça in São Miguel, Azores. And she doesn't care. Here, hang some laundry.
You know, the Azores is
Love you, girl.
the-
Love you the same since you were a little kid, and now I still love you. You know what I mean?
The Azores is the Newfoundland of Portugal, by the way.
Totally. It's the raddest. That's why.
I want to point out that. What's the difference? We started this interview by listening.
Sweet spot.
We started this interview by listening to "I'm Like a Bird," and we just listened to something off the new record. What's the biggest difference you see between the person who's saying "I'm like a bird" and the person who's singing now?
Someone asked me that recently, and I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I've done really hard work to become the person again.
Do you think?
But I'm wiser now. It's so fun. Like I've been collaborating a lot with like kids. They're in their 20s, whether it's like River Tiber or the Skins or Zuri Marley, whoever I've been hanging out with and making music with. It's so liberating because they're in their 20s. They're having a hoot. They're having fun. We're having fun together. I'm young at heart. But I'm not in my head because I'm not in my 20s. I'm a grown woman. So I'm like, this is awesome. I get to redo all this stuff, but I'm way smarter. So to answer your question, I'm way smarter. I'm way wiser. I have way more battle scars and stripes from life. Like it does to everybody. Life beats you up, man. You know this.
But it feels like
Life beats you up.
It feels like the ride and the journey and all this discovery you're talking about. And correct me if I'm wrong, is in some ways you trying to get back to who you were when you recorded Whoa Nelly or even before it. Is that right?
So true. 100%. Totally. Even if I wasn't fully conscious of it, I think the simplicity that I was craving, right? The sort of simplicity, stopping, poetry, moments, feeling joy again, all these things. Like when I started working at my friend's record stores because I felt joyful in the store. And I was like, oh my God, joy, I know this. I detect joy.
And when,
bleep, bleep, bleep.
but when you become Nelly Furtado Inc., Nelly Furtado Business, that joy can go away.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God. Yeah. It was fun. It's a blessing, It's just it was so much bounty and memories and achievements.
And a great life for yourself.
Of course. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's like not to take it for granted at all. It's not that. It's staying happy. We got to all stay happy. We owe it to ourselves to stay happy. Whatever it is makes you happy, We have to be happy. And I think I just really wanted to be happy. And I think being happy is always the most important thing. So we got to feed our souls to be happy. We have to feed our hearts. We have to follow our hearts to be happy, always, no matter if it doesn't make any sense.
So a young woman
Yeah.
comes up to you. She's 20 years old. And she says, I think I want to be a musician. I want to sing pop music. I want to write music. I want to go on tour. I want to play arenas. I want to work with people like Timbaland. I want to do these things. What do you tell them? What advice do you give them?
I give bad advice now because I don't know.
But you have
Because
you have this perspective after releasing
I'm
this
good
record.
at creative advice. Like I'm good at like, hey, show me your song. I think you should repeat the chorus one more time. I
Okay.
think this part of your voice is stronger than this.
Yeah.
I can give like really hands-on topical musical advice, but in terms of career trajectory, my main advice I give people is like, this is what people told me that helped me. So stay true to yourself. You're the only one that knows your vision, but keep your eyes and ears open for healthy, sound, experienced advice. Don't listen to the peanut gallery. That's completely useless. Just really follow your personal inner voice plus a few trusted, experienced Note, experienced
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, not
Because
Twitter.
that's where artists get
Yeah.
in trouble. They listen to the peanut gallery. They listen to whoever.
Well, they scroll through Twitter and they see the
Friends
comments.
who don't
and
know
yeah,
what they're
I
talking
understand that.
about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't do that. I kept my nose to the grindstone when I was starting out. And I didn't tell anybody. I have a huge family. I didn't tell anybody I was making a record. I had family members who, not my immediate family, but I had extended family who'd turn their television on and think, I didn't even know what she's saying. I didn't know she was making a record, you know? Because I feel like that's how you get stuff done. Like you just kind of don't talk about it, you do it. So, but advice-wise, in terms of career, big trajectory, I think you got to work hard. Your reputation is just like follows you wherever you go, like even years down the road. So you got to just treat people as you want to be treated, you know? Treat everybody the same.
Nelly Furtado, I loved listening to that record last night so much. And I love talking to you today so much as well.
Aw, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom. I mean, I'm glad you like the album. That's amazing.
I do.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
But I like talking to you too. Thanks a lot for coming in.
I like talking to you. You sound great on this show. You're awesome.
God love you. Let's play mandolin together.